Hey everyone! Today, we're going to take what looks like a simple list of French phrases and turn it into your absolute secret weapon for the classroom. Seriously, this isn't just about surviving. It's about being confident and ready for anything, right from the moment you walk through that door. So let's jump right in.
You know, a French classroom is kind of like a dance. There's a certain rhythm, a flow, a bunch of steps that everyone just seems to know. And if you don't know the right phrases, it feels like you're constantly stepping on everyone's toes, right? But once you get it, well, then you can actually join the dance and move with total confidence. So think of this as your personal cheat sheet for that rhythm.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to follow the natural flow of a class. We'll start at the very beginning, then get into the activities, cover all the questions and feedback, and wrap it all up at the end. It's basically the entire journey of a single class, from start to finish.
All right, first things first, the start of class. So picture this. The bell has just rung, you're grabbing your seat, and the teacher's starting the lesson. This is where those very first steps of our classroom dance happen. And you know what? It almost always kicks off this simply. The teacher gives those first commands. Bonjour, entrez, asseyez-vous. It's like the opening notes of a song, just getting everyone settled. And your part? A simple, clear bonjour. And boom, just like that, you've nailed the first exchange. Now, check out how the room itself is managed right from the get-go. These aren't just vocabulary words you have to memorize for a test. They're real commands that make the classroom work. So when you hear efface le tableau or ouvrez la fenêtre, it's a huge clue that things are about to get started for real. Okay, so everyone's settled in, the board's clean, and now we're diving into the heart of the lesson. This is where the teacher starts guiding the learning, and your big job here is to catch every single one of those directions. Think of these two phrases as the starting pistol for pretty much any task. Sortez votre matériel. Get your stuff out. Ouvrez le livre à la page 22. Open your book to page 22. As soon as you hear those, you know it's go time. You're switching from just listening to actually doing something. And this is where it gets really interesting. The teacher's words become your direct cues for how you should be learning. If you hear on va écouter, it means just listen. Faire des groupes means, okay, time to talk with your classmates. Regarder le tableau means all eyes up front. See, every phrase signals a totally different way to engage. Now this is probably the most important exchange of the entire lesson. The teacher asks, vous avez compris? And right there, that's your moment. Saying je ne comprends pas isn't admitting defeat, not at all. It's actually you taking part. It's your best chance to grab the steering wheel and guide your own learning. And speaking of grabbing the steering wheel, let's get to the part of the class where you, the student, can really take the lead. This is all about making sure the teacher gets what you need, your questions, your problems, your point of view. You know, these phrases are about so much more than just being polite. Asking, je peux changer de place because you can't see the board, or je peux ouvrir la fenêtre because it's getting stuffy, that's you actively making sure you can focus and learn. It's about taking control of your space. Look, it happens to all of us. The teacher asks who didn't do the homework, and you get that sinking feeling. But instead of just staying silent, you've got a script. J'ai oublié mon cahier is a simple, direct way to explain the problem without making a big deal out of it. Okay, if you only memorize one phrase from our entire chat today, please make it this one. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire is like a magic key. It unlocks everything. It stops you from getting lost, and it lets you clear up any confusion right when it happens. I'm telling you, it is your single most powerful tool in that classroom. And on the other side of that conversation, when you're getting things right, you might hear this. C'est un bon travail. And that's way more than just a nice compliment. It's confirmation. It tells you, yep, you're on the right track. What you're doing is working. That's the kind of feedback that really builds your confidence. But then you might hear something like this. And yeah, it might sting for a second, but I promise you, this feedback is absolute gold. It's not just, you're wrong. It's you're wrong right here, and this is why. Specific feedback, like confusing être and avoir, is basically a roadmap showing you exactly what you need to fix. Okay, the main part of the lesson is wrapping up, and you can feel that the bell is about to ring. The focus isn't on new stuff anymore. Now it's all about finishing up and getting ready for whatever is next. The end of class ritual usually kicks off right here. Prenez votre agenda. That's your signal. These phrases are pure, essential information. They tell you precisely what you need to do for the next class. Nailing this part is a huge piece of setting yourself up for success tomorrow. And this is your last chance to get things straight. If you spaced out during the homework instructions, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire is your lifeline.
And asking about graded work shows you're on top of things and you actually care about getting feedback. And finally, the dismissal. It's a really clear step-by-step process. The teacher collects any papers, you pack up your stuff, you leave quietly, and you say your goodbyes. These are the last few graceful steps of the classroom dance, ending everything on a nice, orderly note. So there you have it. From the very first bonjour all the way to the final au revoir, we've literally walked through an entire French class. You now have the phrases you need to get directions, ask for help, and understand feedback. You're not just standing on the sidelines watching the dance anymore. You know the rhythm, and you are ready to go. The only thing left to do is actually use them. So the real question isn't if you're going to use these phrases, it's which one are you going to start with? Which phrase are you going to try out tomorrow to take that first step and join the dance with confidence?